This is Radio Free Cybertron, episode 934. I am Brian Kilby. Radio Free Cybertron is the world's first and oldest toy and action figure podcast since 1999. Dang. With me this week, we have Diecast. You're back.
I just landed and my arms are tired.
You know, last week we established that many things, including Yellow Park, are better without Diecast. Is Radio Free Cybertron, though? The answer varies, depends on who you ask. Don?
Yeah, Don might have said yes during that pre-show.
I'm just sitting here being...
Not disagreeing.
Diecast was riding Don hard in pre-show, and Don was having none of it, so...
Good.
Yeah. John, how are you doing? You're back, too?
What's up? Yeah, I've been gone 2 weeks doing, like, dad stuff, so it's good to be back.
Yes. Matt?
Hey, you remembered me even though I'm not on video.
You're not on video, yeah. I heard your voice. Otherwise, I thought you dropped.
Read the chat.
Chat. Okay.
Zoom chat.
Okay, I just read the video. You're not going to be on video. You're not read the chat. You're not going to be on video.
And I just read the video. He's not going to be on chat either.
Yes.
I don't know how we're going to make this work.
I don't know. It's not going to work at all. Chris, how are you doing?
Acerbic and witty as always.
Yep. Rob?
I'm alive.
Yay!
Yes, Sky Links. And this time, no force in the universe can stop him. So
Is this the third week in a row we've made the Return of Optimus Prime reference?
probably, but
Probably.
I have to say, on Easter to Tenor, which is a service where you can upload animated GIFs, I uploaded the animated GIF of Optimus rising from the dead in the Return of Optimus Prime on Easter because I wanted to make the joke. They approved it like 2 days ago. So,
Oops.
yeah. So do not upload a GIF to Tenor on the holiday that you want to use it. Okay. So, hey, I want to start off with some good news, I guess, depending on who you ask. Skybound's Transformers Omnibus Kickstarter successfully funded today with $4.5 million with over 11,000 backers. It is officially the most successful comic Kickstarter in history.
What was the
Oh,
goal
neat.
on that?
Less than that. It was, I think it was like 60,000, something like
Yeah,
that.
40 or 60,000.
Yeah.
They bumped that by a couple orders of magnitude.
Yeah. Yeah. So it funded. I did back it. I got an email from. It's the first Kickstarter I've backed in years. So my card was way out of date. It's like, yeah, your card wasn't taken. So, but yeah. So I am. Yeah. I guess I'll get this whenever it comes out. I had backed the G.I. Joe version and then I backed out of it. So I'm just doing that onesie twosie as they show up on Amazon. But with this one, I'll get the Kickstarter version and also the version that they sell to retail as well. So, because I'm a sucker. But yeah, I'm excited about that. Especially all the UK stuff and have it in like one nice or like compact form and not have to read it on like an old 640 by 480 CRT monitor.
The thing that I liked is
Yeah.
I read up on that. I didn't back it. I was kind of wanted to, but the way I read it is they were putting the UK issues in where they went around the American issues, so you could read in order of
I can live with that.
I don't know. I just thought that would be really nice to people who weren't used to knowing what happened.
Are they doing that? I thought they were doing it in order of the issue, like the first half of G1, then like Transformers the movie. Yeah, Transformers the movie, Headmasters, then whatever in the rest of the series. I thought it was in order. I mean, I don't care. When I get it, I'll read it and I'll be happy. Maybe I'll read it. It's a lot of stuff. Like I've read all of that. I've read those comics once from start to finish 30 years ago.
There was a lot of stuff in there, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I may pick and choose a couple things. I guess it was Transformers Universe was probably the other thing that was included in that. So,
so notes from our Discord, tfradio.net/Discord, Blade Raider both times. First, he said the G.I. Joe one, maybe last year, was the top one before this, the top comic Kickstarter before this one.
Gotcha, okay.
And then he's also saying they're doing both versions you have to pick. So I think that's in reference to how they're formatting the publication order for the issues.
I want them in sequential order.
Well, I mean, like anything is a sequential
I
order
want
if
them
you
in,
can define a sequence around
by
it.
page by issue number.
Like you want all the US run stuff in one batch and all the UK stuff
Yeah.
in its own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I was reading the original Marvel G1 and I'm reading it, and then they do Man of Iron
Okay.
out of nowhere, and it's like, what the hell happened to the art? What is going on? And I had no context then.
That was Don's G1 comic story that he used.
It was hard being Don at age 20.
It was hard being Don at age 20.
No, I would have been 17.
No, so this is
big difference.
This is me imagining Don reading that stuff. He'd be like, "I'm the robot master." Okay. So price increases are coming. So Pulse, Big Bad Toy Store, and others will honor current pricing on pre-orders placed through. Why is it May 8th?
Because starting the 9th, the pre-orders end. The current pre-orders that are available will not be available anymore, and the prices will start going up.
Even the ones that are like pre-order in December, they're just going to stop the pre-orders on them, or the price is going to go up and they're still going to be able to pre-order.
I guess it's possible they will start new rounds of pre-orders at new prices.
Yeah.
But like anything that is available for pre-order right now will be available for pre-order at that price through tomorrow, as of when we're recording, and those prices will be honored. We know for sure at Pulse and Big Bad Toy Store, probably other Hasbro partner retailers. But I don't have a list of who else besides those two for sure. They've both come out saying explicitly that they're going to honor the prices on pre-orders placed through the 8th and up until they end on the 9th.
If Matt were here, I would be interested in knowing what his opinion was. So
I miss Matt.
Yeah, me too. So
that I mean that's pretty good. That I think that's good on them that they're honoring pre-order prices. I did not honestly expect them to do that. So I expected a little bit of an increase if something came in, say in, August, September, October, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like what we're looking at right now for price increases, deluxes are going to be either $26.99 or $27.99. There's conflicting reports on that. Voyagers are going up to about $37. Leaders are going up to $59.99, which I mean they're close enough anyway that doesn't even feel like that much of a difference at this point. Commanders are going to be $97.99. And Titans, depending on which scale of Titan, is going to be either $163.99 or $218.99 for the next full size one we get.
So real quick, in our internal chat, Rob had a point, honestly, that is good. So it makes it easier not to mark them back down when everything stops being dumb. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
And John's point was it avoids the hassle of changing it constantly. So
also true.
Yeah, also true.
Yeah. So because I was just looking at the list at BBTS. So if you're on the fence about the Scorponok reissue or the Omega Supreme reissue or whatever, because if Titans are going to be jumping up that much, then I can see why if you do want to get them in before the jump.
Yeah. So I was supposed to get, I really wasn't going to get it, but Amazon, for whatever reason, had put my Star Convoy or Star Optimus Prime with a release date of this past Monday. So they didn't cancel it. Of course, they didn't ship it. I'm curious if they're going to honor the price or if they will cancel it and then put it up at a new price.
I mean, they also always have the option of emailing people holding pre-order saying that, okay, the cost for this item is going up. You can either choose to approve the extra fee on this or we're going to cancel it. Like they can present it to you that way too, instead of just pulling the rug out from under you altogether.
Yeah.
Well, that happened to me 15 years ago on a Robotech Cyclone because they priced it at what the Valkyries were going for. And then Bandai set a hard line price at $299 for the Cyclone armor, and they had priced it at 99, which is what the Valkyries were going for.
As was the style at the time.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, did you have to approve a delay? I had to approve a delay.
Yeah, I had to approve the delay.
Yeah. As far as I know, nothing happened with the pricing or the order itself when you do that.
Yeah. So, hey, we have in-hand photos of Sky-Byte and Heatwave at Transformers. What is it? Snack? What do we call this place?
This is Autobase Aichi. The pictures are mirrored from a YouTube video from Carnage Creations.
So what I like that the YouTuber Carnage Creations did is in this, they took the new Sky-Byte and transmittal to Cybershark, and so that you can tell which is which. They're very close in size.
Yeah, the new Sky-Byte is actually taller.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, like a lot of times when they remake old toys like this, like it feels like you lose something of toy value in it. Like the new Sky-Byte does not have the like spinny claw on the one arm like the original toy. Yeah, like I don't feel like that's really missing too much, and I think there's like everything to gain on this over both the original and especially the Thrilling 30 Sky-Byte, which I don't think anybody really ended up liking.
Yeah. Like seeing it in hand, I'm trying to remember if Sky-Byte's deco is as striking, say, as like Gas Skunk or the basic beasts that came out.
Okay, so yeah, Car Robots Gelshark, Robots in the Skies 2001 Sky-Byte had a beautiful, intricate deco, tons and tons of paint on that. The new one obviously is trying to hit like the major colors, but like so much of the like fine detail work just cannot be represented because of the budgetary considerations. But like all the molded elements are there. Anybody with some Gundam markers or, you know, just good with a regular old detail paintbrush, like you could absolutely dress this up to look just like the Car Robots one. I think Sky-Byte probably was the best looking because the deco was the most complex of the Transmetal 2s that got ported over into Car Robots. Like Gas Skunk was virtually identical to Stink Bomb. Like it was minimal difference between those two.
I love orange, I love black. I think it's, you know,
I mean it was a good deco and there wasn't like a whole lot different that they could do with it really. Cause like if they're going to keep it being a skunk, you're kind of stuck with a lot of what was already going on with that. It's really more remarkable that the Transmetal 2 Stink Bomb version was in realistic skunk colors, and like Night Glider, which was the original form of Darkscream, was like blindingly bright orange.
Yeah.
No, Night Glider was orange and Darkscream was the teal one. Yeah. Like, but like, Sky-Byte had the objective best deco just for all what was going on. Slapper probably has the best color scheme out of the redone toys. Like that's just a really solid deco, really solid color layout on that. It's probably one of my favorites out of the batch of reused toys in that line.
Yeah. So we also have Heatwave up, and Heatwave looks great.
Yeah, we also have Heatwave.
Heatwave looks great.
Heatwave.
It does.
That bulkhead mold, I think, was made for Heatwave. That's the best looking version of that mold since it's been in use. Yeah. I wish he would. Again, scale has never been super important to me, but that is a little off-putting between him and Chase.
Yeah, I mean he's like 2.5 times the volume of Chase.
Yeah, I still think they're going to look good together.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just not sure, you know, Boulder and Blades, if they're going to have to do new molds for that, or if they're going to do remolds. It's
were they on the leak list?
I think Boulder has been. I don't know if we have Blades yet.
Like I could very easily see them just not doing it. I don't know that we will necessarily get a complete set of those.
I mean, I don't remember either of them showing.
Yeah, but they say they like doing sets, and this is a set.
That's not a set though. A set is like the Insecticons or the whatever.
Well, I mean, the core Rescue Bots is a set. They're they are a discrete team together.
It's just like the Seekers to me. They're a set of 4. They're a team of 4 versus the team of 3 Seekers or a team of 3 Coneheads.
Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see them being the same thing, but it looks great. I want it. What else we got going on this week? 2025 Transformers Hallmark ornament. So I've not clicked on this link. I've not seen this. So let me see if I can guess what it is. Devastator.
Okay.
Prepare to be amazed.
Okay. What is it? It is.
It's 2 ornaments.
It's a car.
Bumblebee Camaro, classic.
Like, does anything different? Does it have the Autobot logo on it, or what makes it Bumblebee? I mean, it's obviously the car.
The package says so.
Yeah. True answer.
That's
I mean, I guess probably if you check the license plate on the car in the movie, it's probably the same one that they've got tampoed on here. But I'm not that big a fan of the Bay movies to actually like.
Me neither. And then it's a Megatron on a Decepticon symbol
with no cannon.
With no cannon, you're right.
He has no cannon.
Wow.
Hell, I saw a Chippendale Rescue Rangers, a Kim Possible, and a Darkwing Duck ornament that I'm a
and none
lot
of them
more
had cannons
interested in
either.
than these.
No, they didn't.
Do what?
I said none of them had cannons either.
Monterey Jack might have.
But
I'll get the Bumblebee
let's give
car.
Dale a cannon. That'll work out well.
The proportions on that Megatron don't look really great either.
Yeah, the Megatron is boring. The Bumblebee cars, it's okay.
He's shooting zipper out of the cannon. So yeah.
Yeah,
the new fastball special.
The molding on that one leg to keep it securely on the Decepticon symbol just really messes with the proportions in a way I do not like.
Yeah.
It's not even. I don't even know if it's to keep it securely on there. I think that is just. So it's all like I think most of Megatron's body is molded in one piece with
It's one piece. Yeah, that's lame. I
miss when these ornaments were just like recreations of the G1 toys.
Well, so they had both. They had both.
Yeah.
They had a deluxe one and then a smaller one. These are like the 2 smaller ones.
Well, Christy got me the Santa Claus Optimus Prime with the candy cane one last year.
Yeah.
That one's awesome.
Yeah, that's not this. That's something else.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that was a
be
good
awesome.
one.
They can be awesome.
Yeah,
These are just boring.
Yeah, they're usually
Yes,
like
but
the
they can
toy.
also be this.
Yeah. This sucks. This is like the $5 ones they sell like in at Walmart, like in that big display of them every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what these are. These are the crap ones.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll see more later this year, or maybe not.
Let's see here. Classic Heroes Team, Bot Racers, 2-pack F1 Bumblebee, and Starscream. Okay, I don't know what this is.
The Starscream looks terrible.
If you like Rescue Bot style toys, also just, I'm trying to pad the show a little bit. So these are both reused molds. The Starscream is actually a reuse of a whirl from one of the former Rescue Bots product waves.
That's kind of interesting to me just because from the body type and the face, I would have guessed that it was based off of movie Starscream.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah,
I absolutely
would have been
agree with
much better with that deco.
As it is, Car Scream an easy pass for me.
Car Scream is an easy pass. That is very good. That's Don-esque.
I mean, it's a decent episode title candidate too.
I'm trying to like type that and do other things at the same time, and so I don't forget it. But yeah, so my kids, they have never asked for one of these ever. But like I have them. Like I have the Rescue Bot stuff. I buy those. Okay. Okay. Let's see what else we have going on. Age of the Prime's promo items and Hasbro Asia territories. You can get an A4 folder, an A4 being the paper format.
Paper size, yeah.
Of Age of the Prime. What is this? Is it like the media kit for Transformers the movie? What is this?
So if you go to participating retailers in Hong Kong and you spend at least 300 Hong Kong dollars, which is $39-40 US, you will receive as a reward this A4 folder with Age of the Prime's
stuff,
basic art assets on it. Yeah. Now, meanwhile, if you live in Singapore, you can get one of 3 magnets by making a purchase of at least 120 Singapore dollars, which is about $92 US, or If you make a purchase of 300 Singapore dollars, 230 US or higher, you get a magnetic showcase frame to put those magnets in.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah,
That's actually
Yeah,
kind of cool.
they're just swimming in it over there in Hasbro Asia land.
I mean, that is pretty cool. I gotta admit. I wish we got that here.
It's okay. Like, it would be pretty cool if you didn't have to spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars to get a whole set of those magnets and the display frame for it. Because you can only get one of those things at a time per purchase.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
And they're doing magnets for all of the primes in Age of the Primes over the course of the coming year. So like this is going to be a thing. They're releasing 3 at a time. So like you're going to have to go and make a bunch of these higher level purchases like this.
Okay. Question. So you know how they make bookends, like licensed bookends? One bookend will be like, let's say it's Transformers. One bookend will be Optimus Prime, and he's pushing one way, and Megatron will be on the other side and pushing the other way.
Yeah.
Well, there's a licensed Transformers bookend that's coming out by Nemesis now that's nothing like that. It's like Optimus Prime's head split in two.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I saw this the other day, and the immediate thing I was wondering was like, why isn't this Zone Predaking?
Yes. Oh my God.
I mean, it's like if they took the cookie jar and cut it right down the middle and made bookends out of it. It's very disconcerting to see it split apart like that.
Somehow I find this appealing, and I don't know why.
Okay, so like the Optimus head is very well designed. The sculpting is good. The color work on it is really good. It's just a little bit weird that you're splitting his head in half to hold your books up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are the Nerd Bombers in Greensboro that I go to from time to time has a pair of the Autobot bookends where it's the Autobot logo split in half,
Oh yeah.
which looks fine.
Mhm.
This just looks weird to see it like that. It's like, Optimus, do you have a splitting headache? No. Do you want one? There you go.
So if his Optimus Prime has a splitting headache, does Minerva come out of it? Okay. So question, there's also these tankards.
No, it's one tankard as far as I can tell.
Oh, so it's one Optimus on one side. It's double convoy. It's birth
Yeah.
of double tankard. So
Yeah.
on one side it is Optimus Prime, the other side is Rodimus Prime.
I
So,
was expecting you to make that joke. Yes.
yeah.
And that 24 minutes in is the news.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, let's jump to what we
It's
got this week.
one of those weeks.
So it sounds like some people got some stuff, and this is good because this was show content for last week that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So Diecast. John, you got it too, right?
What, HasLab? Yeah,
Yeah.
Omega Prime. Yep.
Can you guys tag team and like talk about
Sure.
your thoughts on that?
You go first, Diecast. I'll chime in.
Well, I only opened Optimus Prime because I immediately opened him and did the fix. Mine
Me
was
too.
not broken on the inside. It seems like if you push down and you're not applying equal pressure, that if it goes sideways, it's going to take out those teeth inside the chest or the back plate. So what I recommend, don't do what everyone's doing and go crazy sanding that T piece in there. What you want to do is just maybe give it a little sand, but then whenever you collapse it, either do it from the waist or make sure you're doing it from both shoulders and not just one or the other, because that's how it's going to break. So my I actually did a video up on YouTube, and I posted it so you can actually go on RFC reviews and on YouTube and take a look at it and see what I'm talking about.
Don hasn't watched it yet.
Don hasn't watched it yet. It was
I
a 3-minute video
tried.
that I made for him. Since he bought 3, I figured he might need
But
some
he hasn't
help.
received any of them yet.
Yeah, that's true. Well, that's because I asked Hasbro to send his last. But I really like the Prime. It's a good figure. Um, I have to be honest, it feels like a commander class figure. Like I would put him next to Jetfire. And that's just what it is. But then you wouldn't have gotten Magnus and you wouldn't have gotten Blue Bolt and you wouldn't have gotten it all the sword and the extra pieces. So I understand why it was a HasLab, but I don't think it needed to be the 40th
Oh dear God,
anniversary
Diecast, let it go.
HasLab. But yeah,
He's
I
definitely
mean,
the best part, I would say, of the set. Not counting Blue Bolts, which is a deluxe weaponizer, but I think he's really successful. I don't think Ultra Magnus is as successful as an update, but I do like Fire Convoy. I think he's really good.
Is it
I
better than
agree.
the original?
I would say the super mode, Super Fire Convoy, is way better. Is significantly better. I think the base Optimus Prime is pretty much a lateral move, but you do kind of have to see the super modes side by side, the original and the HasLab, to appreciate the differences. Because at face value, it doesn't really hit you that he's that much of an upgrade, which across the entire set is kind of a problem. It doesn't feel like it feels like it's almost a reissue, but 8% different than just a reissue. It's because fundamentally, like size, the technology, the aesthetics of it's just kind of in this uncanny valley kind of weird place with the original. Unless you put them side by side and you realize that the details, like the real small stuff, is completely different. And then you kind of understand maybe or you get maybe more of appreciation for like how different it is. But like I said, the fundamentals of the two toys are super similar, so it doesn't translate unless you just put them side by side with each other. And I will admit that I'm not the biggest fan of chrome and vac metal, but I would assume that at some point DNA or somebody will put out like a not chrome kit if you want to swap out the chrome bits for just flat, more like animation-y stuff. And even if they don't, it's not like a deal breaker for me, but it still kind of contributes to the weird uncanny valley feeling of it, like just not understand, like just not feeling like what is this? This is this a reissue or not? It's just something's kind of off about it. But I definitely think Super Fire Convoy is the best thing about the set that's not Blue Bolts. Um, and it's significantly different. Magnus, much more similar to the original toy. Again, though, when you put them side by side, you start to like see like basically every inch of him is tweaked. But Fire Convoy, no doubt, is excellent. He is really good, for sure. Was not impressed by Magnus. Blue Bolts is great. She's awesome, but again, she's a deluxe weaponizer, so you only get so much out of that. I think that obviously when you think about removing all the electronics from that piece, from what Blue Bolts is, you kind of had to make her a transformer because there's nothing left when you got the electronics from that piece. It's just there's kind of like there's no reason for it existing other than turning it into a transformer. So they made the right call there for sure. Diecast, did you have any other like thoughts on at least Prime? Or actually, what I have a question for you, Diecast. Like, what was your like first impression, or what is your impression so far of just like the value or like the specialness of it? Because one thing that struck me is for a HasLab, this has got to be like the smallest box, the most like economical packaging, like everything's packed into a relatively small box, which kind of made it feel a little less special to me. But I don't know, like what's your impression on this being like, HasLab level stuff?
I'm okay, and that's what we were talking about in pre-show. Like, how much was this HasLab actually? Because that's the thing, you forget how much you actually paid for it. I think 250 is okay. You basically got. I mean, you could argue that Magnus and Optimus Prime are commanders, so there's what 180 roughly. And then you got the sword, you got Blue Bolt, you got the base and everything. So, I mean, I can't complain about the price. The price actually makes sense to me. As opposed to like Leo Kaiser, to where I'm like, 300 seems like a little bit much for that combiner. But no, the price made sense. It's packaged really well. I
It's almost
really
over packaged as far as like protective boxes was like 3 boxes. It's like a shipper box, then another internal box, then the actual HasLab box,
yeah,
and almost everything has corner protectors like
yeah.
for the box. So it's like if anything, like overpacked.
And I'm thankful for that. I think they did a great job on at least, considering shipping and all that, which HasLabs usually do. I mean, they're let's be honest, what is this, like the 15th HasLab by now between all of them? Maybe not that many, but it kind of feels like that. Um I, I can't fault them on it. It seems like a decent value for what you get, or at least what I would expect to pay.
Mm-hmm. I will say one quick other note that since there's that QC issue that everybody's aware of, and Diecast already went over. I watched more reviews on YouTube than I usually do, just to see like how many times that would crop up in a review. And that really wasn't like the main takeaway I got from going through all the reviews and other points of view on this set. The takeaway I got after watching all those videos was there was like a significant number of YouTube reviewers that said this was my first Optimus Prime. So like this was my nostalgia purchase, because this is the one I had as a kid, like as a little kid, 6, 7 year old. Rid Prime was their Optimus Prime. So it's really
Thanks, I hate
interesting. It's really interesting. Yeah, I'm not doing that math for me personally. But that makes sense. I mean, this was a successful. This was a really successful HasLab. It succeeded. It funded, no sweat. And given that this was a big Fox Kids show, and this was like this was a massive hit,
Yeah.
for sure. Like this was a huge hit. That makes total sense. But it's definitely a thing that people are in their whatever it is, I don't know, 20s, late 20s or whatever it is when you look at it, early 30s, whatever. That yeah, this is it. Like this was their Transformers for sure, and now they're all YouTubers reviewing it. So I mean, it was at least half. It might have been more than half of the reviews that I watched where that was like the lead.
Were they diecast?
They led with that comment.
Did you watch
Not
diecast video?
I did. You bet I
Thank you,
did.
John.
Yeah,
Thank you.
man. You're welcome.
So I have to say,
Like and subscribe.
I have to say, I was busy Sunday driving all day, and I got a text from Diecast like, "What do you think?" And I as I was driving, I'm like, "About what?" It's like the video. Like, I'm driving, I haven't watched it, so Diecast is really proud of this video.
Look, if you can text while you drive, you can watch a 3-minute YouTube video while you drive.
You've watched me respond to work email.
Yes, I have.
driving.
I hated it.
Yes.
I mean, I just had a different point of view on what was actually going on than it seemed like everyone else that had talked about it previously. So I was like, and just being in cars and all that stuff, like, why did this fail? Not just, and I was like, wow, this is what I really think going on. Like, I think
Diecast
that
prepping for his next career as an accident investigator.
yeah, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if the people who have them that came out of the box broken is because someone at the factory, collapsed it and only put pressure on one side of the figure, and that's why they're broken out of the box. Because
Diecast and I talked about some in our internal text message threads, and like the thing we basically ended up agreeing on is that it's almost a design flaw in how the toy is engineered internally. There needs to be like a track and groove that the core piece slides on so that you can't move it off kilter like that, so that it always goes straight up and down every time, and that just it doesn't exist, and it really should if that really is the culprit here, causing a lot of the damage people are
Yeah,
reporting.
the fact that it breaks so easily, it is clearly a design flaw.
Yeah.
So it's a design flaw, or you could say it's an assembly flaw exacerbated by a design flaw.
I like all of that is true. It's like the ones that come broken out of the box, it's an assembly error exacerbated by design flaw. When people are getting them and transferring them for the first time and the damage is happening, it's a design flaw that is exacerbating that, somebody does not just naturally know that you have to do this exact thing, this exact right way to transform this. Like, the toy needed to be designed a little bit differently, and I think a lot of this could have been sidestepped. John, I was kind of wondering though, what do you think about like the full-on Omega Prime? You talked a lot about the Super Fire Convoy form, but like the original Omega Prime was reputed by some to be able to be thrown down a flight of stairs and not have any of the pieces come off. That's a reference exactly 3 people will remember at this point. But like how does the new Omega Prime stack up for you?
Yeah, he's actually he's good. He's really good. He is super solid. So everything clips together, snaps together. He doesn't feel volatile. He doesn't feel fragile, like he's going to fly apart. So that's appreciated. He also benefits from the really thick, oversized thighs of the base Optimus Prime, which look frankly weird on the base Prime.
I was going to say bad,
but
the base
you
Prime is like
understand.
all over the place.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. There's good and there's bad. There's also weird things. I will say the thing that does bother me about the base Prime is not really his legs, because yeah, they're oversized, but you understand kind of why. Is the chest panels on the base Optimus Prime, which clearly are supposed to be closer together than they are. And if you go and look at the renders on the HasLab page, they're inconsistent, but there are definitely some renders, some of the shots on the HasLab page for this one, where those chest panels are definitely closer together, definitely as close as the original toy. And they're so far apart in the final product that you can see gaps into the chest from most angles. So it's really weird and clearly like a mistake. And it's a product of them basically giving the Super Fire Convoy mode and Omega Prime butterfly shoulders. That's kind of what it creates for him, which is great. I mean, that's like, awesome. But it turned out to give, I guess, as a side effect, a funky chest alignment to base Prime. But anyway, Omega Prime, he's good. Again, he benefits from those massive thighs from Optimus Prime. And again, when you look at when you compare, you got to compare them directly. Original to this one, proportions are much better on this one for sure, especially in that midsection. And stability wise, he's really good. I'm not like aesthetically, I'm one of those people that always thought Omega Prime was kind of a mess. But as far as proportions go, just kind of like executing this design, it is an improvement for sure. And I think it's successful in doing that. Just from like, again, proportions and just kind of overall how it looks. One other thing though to point out is that all the press and all the attention is going towards that brittle midsection of Prime. But I have seen reports that people, and some people are more picky than others. Some people have said they're already starting to see some discoloration in the white in Ultra Magnus, which
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, which is especially noticeable, would be especially noticeable in Omega Prime mode, when parts of Magnus are the forearms. On Omega Prime, you would really like see it front and center. So that's another bummer for sure.
I think too those forearm pieces are like the main culprit that people are calling out
Yes.
where that's showing up. I know for sure Wheeljack64 in our Discord had at least a minor case of discoloration on what must be nylon parts on those forearm pieces. And then I think we've all seen the pictures from when the US distribution was just starting. Someone got one that was extremely yellowed straight out of the box.
Yeah. No good. That's
No.
sad. No, and I will say that, given that most people at this point, just so everybody is aware of that primary QC flaw in Prime, the experience of opening this HasLab was more of like dread and fear.
Yeah.
Because like the first thing you do is you open it, you find which box is Optimus Prime, and you transform him enough to like check the chest.
Hmm.
And that's like the first thing you do. It's all you care about is just like, I want to verify if my toy's broken or not,
Hmm.
which is not the experience you want after waiting a year for
No,
HasLab.
no, it's really not.
And that's what everybody at this point, that's what everybody's doing. So
just like the good old days with Victory Saber.
Yeah, I was really tempted to leave mine mint and sealed box, but I feel like I need to know. I have to know if it's broken, so I can replace it. So
sleep at
Mhm.
night.
yeah,
I gotta know.
yeah. Okay. Diecast. Did you get anything else besides?
Oh yeah, I got at Target the 2-pack of the Brawn and Ratchet. I just got killed.
The Shuttle
edition.
Massacre, yeah, part 2.
Yeah, they went clearance in mine as well.
Yeah, they went clearance. It was $30, so you figure
Good.
15 a deluxe is pretty good nowadays.
Especially since Ratchet's a Voyager.
Yeah, true. I wasn't even thinking about that. I also got the little tiny Cybertron that Don actually talked about on one of the shows. He was like, "Oh, this is available for pre-order," and it was like $20 shipped through AliExpress.
What is it, like a globe or something?
Dude, it's a fully transformable figure. It's
Yeah,
Cybertron.
It's
It's
a
Cybertron
Primus.
on it's Primus on a globe stand. Yes.
Yeah, and you know what? The paint's really nice on it. The figure looks great. It's obviously simplified. But this really makes me feel like Hasbro could do a, you know,
Line of globes.
and they could do a Primus at that new price point, the new Titan price point of one who knows what it is now, but the
160
smaller
something, I guess.
Titan, yeah, 160 roughly. I used to think that wouldn't be enough for them to engineer it properly, but if someone can do this with nice paint and everything shipped for $20, I think they could do $160 Primus.
At that size, definitely.
Not at this, maybe a little bit bigger than this, but do it nice. So
I don't think there's ever been a dispute whether they could engineer a Primus robot that turns into a spherical Cybertron, all integral without like a bunch of shell parts. I think the dispute has always been, why should they?
Yeah.
oh,
At any
Yeah.
price.
why
Yeah.
shouldn't they?
Well, HasLab Unicron is like scarred me for life.
Yeah.
So,
He's
As
massive.
with most of the fan base.
I think it scarred some people physically too.
Yeah. Anything else, Diecast? What else?
Yeah, and Don has been my guy on these. The Magic Square Bruticus figures. When he gets one, it's like, oh, okay, that's out. I have to go get one now. So this is the third in the line, right, Don? So we got
Swindle, Brawl, and now Onslaught. They're not quite upscales of their Legends class figures. There's a lot of carryover engineering, but they are built as masterpiece figures.
and they're so G1 tune. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're-
like
yeah,
I have never seen a Bruticus that's a big bad Dudicus that's as
It's wrong,
G1.
Bruticus.
That's the G2 version.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's as cartoon accurate as these things are. Like
It's very
that's
flat and
just-
boring.
Yeah, you say that, but I don't know. There's something about it that really screams to me to
Flat and
have
boring?
something that's so G1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's say
to-
Flat and boring.
Well,
hey, flat and boring is how I like my Transformers.
Yeah.
The
But-
Brawl gets away with that because he has a lot more sculpted detail to break up that flatness, but you really see it in Swindle because Swindle, as it by default, doesn't have a lot of surface detail on a Jeep versus a tank. So Brawl does wind up getting a little bit better looking, but it is very sunbow. If you want your Transformers sunbowed, you got it with them. But they
But
do
he-
look good.
Yeah, even Onslaught. Just I mean, there's enough detail there
Is there?
that well, for me at least, that
Okay.
it's broken up enough that like yeah, it doesn't look like it's just blocks. So I'm really happy with him, and I appreciate Don when he tells me he gets it because that's
Yeah.
when I know to go on a
Yeah,
site and order
I've been
it.
looking for Blastoff and Vortex, and there's been no pre-orders for them at all right now. So I don't know when they're coming out.
Well, I think unfortunately because of where these are produced, everyone's kind of holding off. Like I mean,
Oh yeah, it's going to be
factories are shutting down over there because they're just in a not produce anything in wait mode. So hopefully that gets addressed soon and we can, start getting our figures again.
yeah. The only thing is, we might be getting a little lucky in that, if you call it that, because places like Show Z, even though we'll have to pay more in shipping or maybe a tariff surcharge, it's still going to be produced for the Asian mainland market and countries in the Pacific Rim area. So they'll still be produced. It's just it may be a little harder for us to get them, or will cost us a little bit more.
Probably
'Cause-
both.
Yeah, because Shozi has said as on their front page they have what they're doing about tariffs like Mondo and everybody else. So I still think they'll be produced. It's just maybe not in the quantities of them taking the U.S. market into account, but they will be produced for the Asian markets. So it could still be available. We'll have to wait and see how that works out.
Okay, cool. Diecast, anything else?
I think that's it.
John, did you have anything else?
Nothing on topic.
Okay, Donald.
Soundwave.
Nice.
Damn you.
I was able to find Earthspark Soundwave and hashtag.
Where's mine?
Apparently at Target. Earthspark Soundwave reminds me a lot of Nightshade, and the fact is, it's a very kind of impressive way the mask kind of shifts. Although it's very clear he did not skip leg day. But I think Nightshade, for having a beast mode, handled the stuff a little bit better because everything's under the jet. So, which we kind of figured anyway. So I think Soundwave is very comparable to Nightshade as far as the stuff going where it goes to look as good as he does in jet mode or as good as they do in owl mode. Just maybe not quite as good because you really can't hide it under the jet mode. But fully unfolded, because when Brian pulled out Prima Prime, that made me remember I wanted to test something. Soundwave in jet mode is probably a third taller than Prima Prime in robot mode.
He's
I mean,
wider. He's wider.
Well, wider, if you look at it that way. So I think it's a really nice figure. The only thing I had with mine is the arms tab into the sides with two small notches. And then the wings tab into the arms to lock everything into place with the backpack. The problem is those notches are not really super deep. So when you're putting the wings on, the arms pop off the notches. So it's kind of like press and hold, push the backpack back. And once it's locked together, it's pretty solid, but it can. But we've seen a lot of these transformations, like the feet are there under the wings, and the hands are sort of chilling out under the body. But all in all, it's definitely a very nice figure, and I'm glad we got it before the line ends. I also picked up the U.S. version of Hashtag. It's a different box. The Amazon pre-order I had that was eventually canceled was in the old Warrior class style box that Thrash came in originally. The open box with them just sort of twist tied in. So I haven't had a chance to open her yet, but I also want to compare it to the Japanese version and just to figure out which one I'm going to open, which one I'll leave in the box. So I got those two, and that's all I got on topic this week.
Matt?
I have nothing.
Okay. Rob?
Nothing on topic.
Chris?
3 for 3.
3 for 3. Okay, I got a couple things. I'm not going to go into super detail because I don't remember all of their names. So I got Prima Prime. I have not transformed Prima Prime yet. I know people are crazy, or people really like him, but
he's less frustrating than
Solus.
he's just
Solus.
very
That's
boring
the best
looking.
thing.
Solus
That's
is
the best
not.
thing I can say.
Solus is not boring looking. Prima
No.
Prime is boring looking.
Yeah.
So it reminds me of like a Last Night figure in like just how flat and uninteresting it is.
There's no need to be mean about it.
I'm
Brian.
sorry, but yeah. Yeah. So, but with that said, I can't wait to transform it. So, I also got, I guess, all of wave 1 of, Wild Docking or Wild King, or whatever you want to call it.
Wild Cooking by one auto translation.
Nice. So, it's thinking, we were talking about this in pre-show. Think of it like Power Core Combiners. It is a system. I mean, you can think of Combiner Wars as a system, or you can think of Scramble City as a system. It's a system of pegs, and mostly pegs and double pegs, on how toys can be separated and recombined into like different configurations. So the two base robots, you have an Optimus Prime and a Megatron, and they're actually pretty big. So, like they're small. Let's say they're small leader. They're leader. Actually, they're leader class in size, not in complexity. Where in the U.S., like I would say, they're less high quality of plastic. So the plastic's a little more rigid, but I like that. In the U.S., when you have like cheaper plastic, it's kind of softer. I guess that's just a safety standards thing. But I like the way they look. I like how Optimus has this yellow window for the cab. That looks nice. Megatron's very competent Megatron as well. I like the way it looks. It's very competent. If you do much with it, though, like the arm will pop off again with the system in place, because it's double pegged in so that you can connect the smaller robots, and I can never remember their names. You have the green guy, the red guy, the blue guy, and the orange and the yellow guy. Basically.
Let's see, Saint Walker, Laprise.
Yeah. So they are deluxe in size, roughly speaking, and they will basically, you can peg them into the arm, and they extend the arm of the robot. Like bits and pieces of them will pop off, and they can adorn the robot in different ways. So each Optimus and Megatron each can hold 4 of them, and there's only 4 in the wave. So you either have to double up or have like an incomplete set. I don't actually much care for the way it looks when you combine them together. I like them individually, so it's good for me. Also, I'm lazy when it comes to that. But just generally speaking, I think Optimus and Megatron, I wish they would release them domestically. I don't think they can, but I wish they would, because I think these would be pretty decent toys for kids to have. So
They look fun.
yeah, they're fun. They're nice looking. I'm glad I got them. I have, I don't think I've pre-ordered Wave 2 yet. And I know I haven't. I need to pre-order Wave 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I really like them.
we were talking about this on There Goes My Money yesterday, and like we kind of settled on like if they did try to sell them here in US equivalent price points, like we definitely feel like the Energy Beast could probably hit like the $15 warrior class level that Earthspark had. Probably
that's fair.
fit nicely into that. And the core robots probably would be sitting around a good $35.
Yeah.
And I think like at that price, those would be totally competitive, especially for like kid-focused toys.
Yeah.
We won't get them domestically because we know for a fact that Hasbro doesn't want to sell Power Rangers toys.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fair.
Because I posted in the internal chat the pictures of the Playmates ones, and woof, I really was not a upswing on that.
Yeah. So yeah, these are nice. Hasbro's not going to release them. I don't think they could, to be honest, without some re-engineering. But they're nice. Yeah. If you want to, they weren't that expensive through Amazon Japan. So I did half of them through Amazon Japan, half of them through Surgaya. Surgaya shipped 2 packages at the same time. I would rather it have been 1 package, but it was free shipping, so I didn't pay for it. But Amazon, like the way Amazon pre-orders work, I can't like add multiple to my cart. I can do them one at a time, so I have to pay shipping for each one. Yeah, so that's not fun. But yeah, that's what I got this week. Let's jump to ham sandwiches, the off-topic portion of what we got this week, and I will start. I don't think I got anything. So Diecast, what'd you get?
I got the ROM figure. I guess that's kind of related, but it's kind of not. So
It's tangentially Transformers related, but
yeah, so he's pretty. They put plenty of paint on him, which is nice. And he's different. So I really like him.
Man, Deep Space Nine would have been different with that ROM on there.
Yeah. Anything else, Diecast?
Nope, that's it.
Deep
Don?
Space Nine had the better ROM.
Yeah, he's Grand Nagus. I mean, he's
Couple of small things. I found my second PandaCon because it's sort of like with I don't buy a lot of these NECA turtle figures just because, but I love the way he looks, and I like having one to open and one to keep in the box because for whatever fault you might do with NECA, their packaging and the visibility of the figure in the packaging is pretty stunning. And like John said a few weeks ago, if I've got a choice, this was the only one that I saw, and the other one was the only one I saw, so I really couldn't compare them at the same time. But now I can pick the one that I want to open and the one I want to keep in box. So there's that. I saw the Shredder, John. The Shredder looked really good, but it's like I don't really want to go down that route because I have a really great Shredder in the statue from Pop Culture's PCS. So I think I'm good on Shredders. Had some good eBay sales, and I found this. This is Elkhorn the dwarf from Dungeons and Dragons. I'd only seen the stripped down version of him for like $29, which is the figure and maybe 2 or 3 accessories. This is the full one that has all the accessories for the regular NECA price, and I had some good eBay sales. And he reminds me a lot of the dwarf from Golden Axe, who is still running about $70 to $90 that I would like to have for display, but this is more than fine, and I like the way it looks. The last thing I got was a gift. My mother-in-law's friend, who was our wedding planner, who sent me the A-Team set.
I remember the story.
Yes. Yeah. Sent me the 20th anniversary Star Trek compendium.
Oh, nice.
Oh, awesome.
So this it goes through the animation, it gives you the production credits, it gives you like the writer, the director, the principals. So this was done in 86, so that would have been the 20th anniversary. And someone had even wrote in the back IDIC, infinite diversity, infinite combinations, and fascinating. So someone loved their book, and I appreciate it. So it'll be nice to read up on this and get a little behind the scenes information and just revisit TOS. It's all black and white, so
I'm going to share the story because why not? I was at a wedding 5 or 10 years ago, and there was a board like set up somewhere where you could write a note to the couple. And what I wrote was EDIC, infinite diversity and infinite combinations. Like, they have no idea what in the hell that meant, but like, it's just what I wanted to write. They got divorced like a year later, so it didn't help.
Well, I mean, that's the infinite diversity and infinite combinations.
Yeah.
They're diversifying with a new combination.
Yeah. So
You're prophetic in your words,
Yeah.
Brian.
Don,
Good
anything
job.
else?
No, that's it.
John?
I got Tattoo and Worm from NECA for the cartoon Ninja Turtles line. So Tattoo showed up once in the cartoon. He's a mutated
Invasion of the Turtloids.
He's a mutated gerbil. Thank you very much, XV. The other turtle fan here that knows that kind of stuff, that has that level of knowledge. I appreciate that. It comes with his little gerbil, which is great. And then Worm, who showed up for about 2 seconds in a commercial for his toy. That's the only time the animation model ever showed up for him. So NECA used that as the basis for a hypothetical Worm for the cartoon line. Both really nice. Good value. They increased the price of these 2 packs by about $8 in the last year or so. Still a decent value. It's like $60-ish for a 2-pack, and these are 2 of the bigger figures for sure that they've made. Tattoo is definitely like a Ultimates level, single pack kind of level, $37 figure as far as like girth goes. So I like them, and that's all I got.
It's just like, it's so weird that Tattoo existed as a toy in the original toy line, that they got him into the cartoon once, and that for some reason in the cartoon he was a hamster mutant.
Sure.
Like,
That
none of those
mutated
things add up.
into a man. Yeah, just a man, basically.
Yeah, just a mostly naked man.
Yes.
Because I remember the toy, and I had the toy, and it was pretty close to that. Like,
Yeah.
That's why I did pick up Tattoo and Worm and PandaCon when they went on Target's site, so I was able to order them and get them shipped in. I skipped the Ghost guys. They're kind of boring to me, and I don't really remember them.
They're not only a deep cut, but yes, not as engaging looking as these guys for sure.
So
yeah,
a coworker this past week told me that he had just sold on eBay his childhood hotspot.
Ew.
And like, I didn't even remember Hotspot, but he said he got
the Dalmatian mutant from
Yeah.
Ninja Turtles.
yeah, he
That's
said he got
pretty
like
rare one.
$400 for it.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Dang.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I know some of them. Well, like a lot of Telly and stuff, but I know a lot of that stuff goes for like stupid money
It
towards
did.
the end.
It did. Matt, did you get anything? Did I already ask?
You did not already ask, and no, I did not get anything.
Okay. Did I ask Don? Did Don go? Don
Don went.
Don talked
It's
about the
Rob's
panda.
turn.
Don talked about the panda. That's right.
It's Rob's turn.
Rob.
Okay. Yeah, I got a few things. Amazon had Disgaea 7 for the Switch on sale for like $25-$30, so I grabbed that. I still haven't started 6, but I'm, I've got other games to, throw math at me and get me involved for like a couple 100 hours, so I'll get around to those eventually. I also got the last thing I was expecting from AliExpress without any issue, which was nice. It is a Elden Ring Figma of the Raging Wolf armor set. It's a really nice looking figure. I can tell they rushed it out to beat the tariffs because the paint is all still sticky. So I'm gonna let that just sit a while, I think, before I handle it anymore, because I don't really, I don't, as a general thing, want silver thumbs as part of my day, especially with mystery knockoff paint.
Or thumbprints in your paint on your toy. Yes.
So neither outcome is really desirable. So, and I just wanted to add a small service bulletin about the G-Frame FA Goof Custom that I talked about last week. I tried to assemble the frame from memory. Don't do that. The instructions for the G-Frame FA sets are up on Bandai's Hobbies website in Japanese, but with plenty of pictures. And the reason that this was a mistake is I did not technically get anything wrong. I built the frame correctly for how G-Frame frames traditionally work. But I was talking about how last week how the Goof Custom design has very oversized shoulder armor that makes moving the shoulders difficult on other versions of the suit. So what I did not know or notice until I was busy filing down pegs on these shoulder joints that are default to G-frame is that it actually comes with a smaller set of shoulder joints to work with that armor, so that there's more maneuverability for those shoulders. So I thought that the armor pieces were molded incorrectly and did not fit the default shoulders. No, the default shoulders are not designed for that. So, if you get that and there are two just random mystery spheres in the package and you're not sure what they're for, that's what they're for. And no filing is necessary. And it's working just fine now. So,
oh, good.
Yeah, really nice figure. For whatever reason, like the thigh swivels are a little bit loose compared to some of the other G frames I've gotten. Could be a little bit tighter for, not falling over, but that's a nice thing. If I find a frame that works better, I can just shove it in there if I really want to. So yeah, that is, I just felt that was worth mentioning for, other G-frame people. And that's pretty much it for me for now.
Cool. Chris?
No.
Okay. Want to thank our patrons at patreon.com/tfradio. Patrons of Radio Free Cybertron get an ad-free version of RSC each week. You get it a day early, which doesn't mean 24 hours, but it could. I think this past week it was more. You get the show at a higher bit rate with the complete What We Got This Week segment of the podcast, including the non-Transformers content. You get the weekly Patreon exclusive pre-show podcast. If we make heavy edits to the show, we will post the unedited version to Patreon, as long as it's, like something that was like too hot for the show. Like if it's just me like coughing into the microphone, like I don't edit. You don't get that. You don't want that.
It was good pre-show though, so you should watch that.
Pre-show is good. A lot of Transfers talk in pre-show. We try to keep Transfers talk out of it, but that's what it was.
But it was also mostly just antagonizing Don, which is why Diecast thinks it was a good pre-show. So depending how you feel about that. But in general, become a patron and get the pre-show podcast because it's usually pretty fun.
Yep. If you get a fancy color on Discord, red for Touched, purple for the other patrons, you get There Goes My Money a week early. We did have an episode post last week. It'll be in the main feed of Radio Free Cybertron before this episode is. So if you're on the all podcast, we have a bunch of feeds, but if you're on the all podcast feed, it'll be there. Otherwise, you can go to tfradio.net and download it. Patrons at the Touch tier get to be on There Goes My Money. And Touch patrons are mentioned on the show each week, and it listed at tfradio.net/credits. And I will do that now. And thank Kevin Dorsey, Sent the Proto, Mollis Koenig, Daniel Scott, Nathan's Fast Talk Food Reviews, Trickster, Here's Why It's Cool, Ryan Bona, Emmett Stresovich, Rabbits, Hector Bones, Joey Russell, Sean Williamson, Spider Bob, Sean Hamilton, and Sean Bratton. Thank you all so much. You guys rock. We love you very much. If you want to join these fine folks, go to patreon.com/tfradio to sign up. You can find all of our crap at tfradio.net for a long time, 25 years. A bunch of stuff. You can find me at briankilby.com and at kilby.bsky.social on Blue Sky. Rob Springer not here. He is at zonebase.org and at zonebase.bsky.social and at Robo Rob Springer on Twitter. Matt, how do people get a hold of you?
melvar.bsky.social. 3 L's, 2 R's.
Rob?
Every time you mention Rob Springer, even though we've been doing it this way for years, I reach for the mute button just to start talking. But yeah, I can be found on Blue Sky at robflails.bsky.social. I can also be found on YouTube at Flail Throughs, where I am mostly still covering Gundam games. Gundam Battle Operation 2 added the prototype Psycho Gundam this week. That thing is a monster.
Ooh.
It can wreck somebody's feet in like one set of punches. It's scary.
So is this monster in the they're going to end up inevitably nerfing this in a few updates kind of way, or is this functioning as intended kind of way?
I think it's functioning as intended, but we'll just have to see how things play out. I would not be surprised if they nerf the melee damage just a little bit, because it hits really, really hard. The thing that kind of balances it out is, if you've ever seen the prototype Psycho Gundam design, it is very chunky, so it throws really strong punches with little T-Rex arms. So yeah, that definitely helps the situation. But if you want to see more about the game, go over to Flail Throughs. Every Thursday morning, I do the weekly update for GBO2. If you want to support the channel, patreon.com/flailthroughs. The information on the tiers are there. And if you just feel like getting me something because reasons, tfradio.net/playlist, the list is there and puts a little bit back towards the show with every Amazon purchase without costing you any extra.
Cool. Chris?
You can find my photo galleries and things like that at playwithphotography.com. You can find me in our Discord, tfradio.net/discord. That's my favorite place to interact with like our collector community and our listeners and everybody else. Like, really great group of people over there. Come join us. Fun hangout. We're there, all week long. It's not just on the recording nights. I have an Amazon wish list at tfradio.net/chrislist. All the same qualifiers exist as what Rob said.
Very cool. Diecast.
Well, Diecast could unmute first. He has a bird.
I pressed the wrong button. That's why I thought, I pressed the mute on my mic and not the mute on the Skype.
Okay, so you can find Diecast muted on Zoom.
Yeah.
Where else?
You can follow me on Blue Sky and X at Diecast2. You can like my Facebook page at Reviews by Diecast. You can see my reviews and my fix video for Omega Prime, Optimus Prime's HasLab at youtube.com/RFC reviews or tfradio.net/reviews. And I think that's it.
Cool. Don?
One thing I want to do is I forgot to mention, I wanted to thank John Triclops. Thank being the appropriate word for sending me, this was a few weeks ago, another Beast Machines Cheetor.
Thank you, John.
So
good job.
I apologize. I lost the slip of paper, then I couldn't remember his name for like 2 weeks, and I finally remembered it. So thanks, John.
How do you forget John Triclops?
On Twitter at HMRC, the number 4 EVR. Being reached on Blue Sky at HMRC, the number 4 EVR.bluesky.social. I have an Amazon wish list, stuff on there for myself, stuff on there for Hank. tfradio.net/donlist.
John?
That John D everywhere except on eBay where I'm Cloudburst.
Very cool. We will see you next week. Have a good one.
Take
Later,
care,
everybody.
Recording stopped.
Hey, people watching live. Thank you for being here. I'm killing the stream because it's late. I need to walk my dogs.
Good night, everybody.
Goodbye, Twitch.
Good night.
Take care.
And in a second, we'll say goodbye, YouTube. Wish I could say goodbye, YouTube.
Yeah, well.
I'm going to jump off early, too, because it's my wife's birthday today.
Valentine's
happy
Day, your
birthday.
wife's birthday, you miss everything.